Well, hello and welcome to National Cybersecurity News. I'm John L. Johnson and I am joined today. We have a special guest, Dave Hatter. He is the president of Libertas Technologies based in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm pleased to have him here today. He's going to talk to us a little bit about education and technology, some of the things that he teaches his students, as well as being a company owner of a technology company. So thanks so much for having us and welcome.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's just jump right on into it. You teach the kids coming out in the technology field a number of different things. Talk about some of the things that you try to prepare them for and things that they may not expect that they need to know.
Okay, well, I think a lot of times I've taught at several different local universities in the Cincinnati area, and mostly programming-oriented classes because that's my background since I graduated from college. And I think there's a lot of things that people think they are going to learn when they learn to be a programmer, but probably don't realize that they need to know to be successful out in the world of business. As a company, we provide custom solutions for our customers. We build software from scratch, custom tailored to their specific business model. So I kind of have a unique perspective on this. I get to see a lot of different companies and businesses, and one of the main things that we often see is many technical people don't really have very good communication skills. So I try to focus on that through all my courses, even though they're programming oriented. We talk a lot about requirements gathering and business analysis and communications and being able to listen to customers' requirements carefully and try to understand what it is they really want to do and why they want to do it, as opposed to just focus on the technology aspect of it, which is where most projects don't pan out. You don't really understand the requirements and don't gather the requirements correctly.
Okay, it seems like technology is becoming a growing industry. Have you noticed that more people are coming into that field and you're teaching them those things like communications and things like that?
Definitely. Enrollment at all of the local colleges here in this area are up, and also in these programs. I think a lot of people realize that technology is not going away. More and more businesses understand how technology can be used to improve their bottom line. So I think it's a good career field to get into. There's lots of opportunity out there. Obviously, technology is not going to be going away anytime soon. So there's definitely been an influx there. And again, I think one of the big things is people who are new to the field often don't really understand what they're getting themselves into. It changes rapidly. And I think now, probably more than ever, because there's so much technology and so many different kinds of technology, while it's important to have certain skills, it's also important to understand business. And again, to have good communication skills and really be focused on why is this business willing to spend money on this technology? It's really not about the technology. It's about how the technology can be used to improve the business.
So for students, I guess, going into the technology field or even considering going into the technology field, what would be the number one piece of advice that you would give them?
Well, the number one piece of advice I would give them probably is to think about what do they really want to do long term. This is not really a good thing for everybody forever because it does change fast. To sort of think, am I just trying to get a job today, or is this the sort of career I want to be in for the rest of my working life? Because it does change rapidly. You have to be willing to make an investment in lifelong learning if you want to be successful. And again, you have to be willing to focus on more than just the technology. There are certain critical skills that are really popular now, but having done this now for almost 20 years, I've watched many things come and go. There was a certain time when you could make a lot of money as a Novell NetWare engineer. Can't make too much money doing that now. So, it's good to, as a student, especially in the beginning of your time in school, to step back and think, what do I really want to do long term? And one of the things I think people often underestimate is you can use technology as a springboard into other areas of a business. In many cases, depending on what you do technology-wise, you're going to work real closely with many different business people in many different areas of a business to understand system requirements, to build systems that support their operations. And if you play your cards right, and you do understand business, and you do have good communication skills, you can often use it as a springboard to other opportunities within a business or just business in general, because you may decide someday you don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
And that's okay. But again, it's a great way to learn about business because you're going to end up supporting it.
Now, you have a unique situation because you teach students and then you probably also hire people as well as the president of Libertas Technologies. What are some of the things you look for when you're sitting down with someone and you're giving an interview and you're about to make a hire?
The things we're generally looking for, and obviously, it depends in some degree on the position itself. But the things we're looking for is demonstrable experience. A big piece of advice I try to give all my students is anything you can do to get actual real-world experience, especially if you're a programmer, is going to be extremely helpful. I think that's true in any technology. So, but especially true in programming because it is as much of an art as it is a science. And having a chance to get out in the real world and interact with real business people and see how these things work is a big plus. So co-op experience, intern experience, anything you can do that's going to make your resume stand out above and beyond someone else who only has a college degree is going to go a long way. I personally would much rather talk to someone who maybe went to a community college but has a lot of actual real-world experience than someone who went to like an Ivy League school but has never actually done this professionally whatsoever. So experience is a big plus. Just attitude and work ethic. Being, excited about the job, wanting to show up, wanting to learn, wanting to go the extra mile because this stuff does change rapidly. And it's important to stay up to speed on things. So people who are willing to go that extra mile to learn more, to be able to do more on their own initiative, is a big plus. And those are the kind of things we're typically looking for with people. It's not necessarily that they've got some degree from a real prestigious college. I'm more interested really in their work ethic and their aptitude and the fact that they've actually sat down and done this somewhere.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us, and hopefully you will join us again maybe really soon to talk about some other things. That's Dave Hatter with Libertas Technologies. He's the president of that company. And thanks for tuning in to National Cybersecurity News. I'm John L. Johnson, and I hope you have a great day.